Politeknik Kesehatan Malang, Mr. Budi Susatya SKp.M, the Honorable Director General of Health Workers of the Republik Indonesia, Dr. Kiki Arinaya, and the Honorable Speaker and Participant of the International Conference on Food, Nutrition, and Health. Praise the great, we pray in the presence of God, we can meet at the international conference is good condition. Before I before I explain the result of my research, I will explain the beginning for my research. It all started when I meet a case of in hospital, thrombotic stroke patient with diabetic during the month of Ramadan. Then I did a preliminary study by taking blood during fasting, and the blood was very thick. It was difficult to do inspiration. Then my patient was given 250 milliliter water to drink. After that, I took blood. When typing, the blood was very easy. And in the implementation of patient with hyperglycemia, the initial action is rehydration. After that, I did a research to answer about phenomena in last I research before I study in the program doctoral. Now I want to explain. I'm sorry. Okay. I want to explain about the importance of water molecule on conformational chain of human serum albumin and blood viscosity in diabetic patient in silico and in vivo study. The first, I want to explain about the role of water in protein stability. The second, the role of water in affecting albumin by molecular dynamic simulation. The last, I want to explain about the role of water in affecting the viscosity with conformational dynamic of albumin. Water is essential to life, yet people still do not fully understand many aspects of its involvement at the molecular level. It plays with a variety of role at the different level of complexity from molecule and cell to tissue and organism. The above fact show that water is not simply as a solvent. Almost all protein and nucleic acid are inactive in the absence of water, and hydration determines their structure, stability, flexibility, and the function. Specifically for protein, the dynamic of water-protein interaction govern in various activities, including the facilitation of protein folding, maintenance of structural integrity, mediation of molecular recognition, and the last, acceleration and enzymatic catalysis. The complexity of water at the molecular level has not been fully examined. It is due to the complexity of the water molecule at the cellular, on the cell and molecular organism. The function of water for protein A to facilitate the protein folding, maintain the structural integrity, mediate the protein rigidity, and accelerate the enzymatic catalysis. It is important to be studied to determine the dynamic properties of biomolecules related to biological properties of the water and the molecular level. During preliminary study, indicate to plasma viscosity the normal people lowered by giving the addition of 10 microliter water to 6 milliliter of plasma. It indicates the function of water on blood rheology. The role of water in affecting the viscosity is might related with conformational dynamic of albumin. Albumin protein acts as a protein transport for various compounds with cover hormone, fatty acid, drug, and so on. The role of water which can affect the conformation chain can be studied with the various computational software to perform simulation model for molecular dynamics. My method is maybe the study was using is in silico molecular dynamic method. Molecular dynamic simulation program for glycated albumin was run in various glucose concentration. The first 5 milligram per milliliter until 20 milligram per milliliter, and the perform using Yasara software. Blood viscosity was measured during design method with a post-test only. The 3-step measurement was including sampling, and then plasma collection, and then blood viscosity measurement method. And the study was obtained the concentration glucose in the glycated albumin can affect to chain of conformational albumin and secondary structure of the protein albumin. This is the first I ate 10 microliter water to 6 milliliter plasma. And then after the rheology, different in the molecular charts, and I measured made 5 minutes until 60 minutes. My use Brookfield tool, and then this is change in the blood plasma viscosity after addition of water 10 microliter in normal individual and diabetic patient without complication. There are different from before and before I add water and after I add the water 10 microliter. In the figure show the different from normal and diabetic patient. After small addition water can affect blood rheology. Rheology is affected by the attractive molecule and which increase the dynamic of blood flow. Charts a difference between molecule of water and albumin protein causes a movement of attraction. It causes the movement of flow. The addition of 10 microliter of blood plasma can decrease the viscosity of diabetic patient. Rehydration is more focused with volume, but of these results show that small amount of 10 microliter water can reduce the viscosity of blood plasma. Assess the change blood component abnormality such as blood rigidity of erythrocyte deformability. Furthermore, plasma viscosity examination is used to assess change in the level of albumin, globulin, and fibrinogen. Water can affect the change in the protein conformation, especially albumin, and then conformation change also caused by the distribution of electron and the bonding of hydrophobic and hydrophilic albumin. Electron distribution causes the dynamic gravitational pull in its molecule. Furthermore, the addition of water on the hydrophobic area causes conformation change in albumin. Diabetic mellitus patient with impaired metabolism, carbohydrate, lipid, and protein, and have an increased blood glucose. Hyperglycemia can lead to increased blood viscosity, either whole blood viscosity or plasma viscosity, which will lead to change in the blood rheology. Hyperglycemia can also result in albumin glycation, which in the non-enzymatic glycosylation process between glucose and albumin. Another effect of hyperglycemia is an increase in osmotic diuretic that can cause dehydration and result in increase in blood viscosity. Dehydration can influence the conformation change in albumin. This is the process in the method, but molecular dynamic simulation method was used in this research. The help of Yasara software. I aim to examine the dynamic of all atoms constructing in the albumin protein in its time unit and to predict the physical impact causes by the different in the interaction partner. The state in Yasara software were used human serum albumin and sample were taken from the protein data bank database with ID 1A06. The structure was the result of X-ray method with a resolution of 2.6 Armstrong. Furthermore, the glycosylation was performed on the cysteine 34, arginine 4010, and last lysine 525 site. In this, the most frequent glycation site and the arginine, lysine, and the cysteine. This is a simulation system on the condition of various amount of water. You know about the figure, the simulation system on the condition of varying amount of water, starting with the reduction of the number water molecule, namely by reducing the water molecule by 20%, 30%, and then 40%. This is human serum conformational change, serve dehydration. The effect of dehydration change the conformation of albumin. There was a significant change in the pattern of protein dynamic when compared to the control. You know, as the dimension human serum albumin conformation is normal condition In the figure, show is black line, and then dehydration, red line, green line, and blue line. RMSD, root mean square division, charts in the average distance between, between atom or change important conformational RMSD because the atom undergoes dynamic in the certain time. The dynamic pattern as conformational change must be the same as the control. The conformational change does not exceed 2.0 Armstrong, meaning that the conformational change is relatively stable. There is no damage to the human serum albumin structure. Computational studies show that there is the conformational change of human serum albumin by a reduction water ranging from to 20%, 30%, and 40%. Conformational change in the human serum albumin does not exceed more than 2 Armstrong. It means that change in the conformational of human serum albumin is still within the normal range, and it is not damaging the structure of the human serum albumin. Differentiating of the albumin structure dynamic begin on the condition of 30% dehydration. It can be seen from the pattern of the dynamic that are much different from the normal. It is signed by not having much fluctuation of RMSD, less dehydration albumin, namely 20% dehydration, so dynamic pattern approaching normal condition. While the simulation of 40% dehydration shows similar result with 30% dehydration. The simulation result can strengthen the hypothesis that the presence of water is very important in influencing the conformation of albumin protein. Decreasing the number of water molecules would have an impact on the protein stability. The less amount of water showing the conformational dynamic is not too fluctuating. It might be explained why the serum albumin have high viscosity under dehydration condition and made reversible by addition amount of water. Human serum albumin conformational change are affected by the number of water molecule. The polarity of the water molecule produce a hydrogen bond, so the tagging between hydrogen and water molecule or other hydrophilic molecule occurs. The tagging between water molecule and human serum albumin causes conformational change. The role of water is very important in the stability and structure of the protein. It is associated with a nature of hydrophobic from protein. Hydrophobic of human serum albumin based on hydrophobicity analysis of human serum albumin. It shows that global property of human serum albumin is more hydrophilic, but some amino acid have high hydrophobicity properties. This condition provides variable interaction of water with human serum albumin. When the water meets hydrophilic surface area, it can cover all protein surface region. However, the protein has hydrophilic surface that not favorable to interact with water molecule. It can affect directly to dynamic movement of protein when they are reducing number on electron on the surface. causing the less water interaction that might induce the conformational change of albumin. Conformational change depend on several things, namely the curvature of the albumin, smooth or raw surface layer human serum albumin, as well as the nature of hydrophobic and hydrophilic membrane surface human serum albumin. Simulation results show that the addition of glucose concentration in glycated albumin influence the conformational change and also change in the secondary structure of the protein albumin. The albumin conformation has increased in the beginning of the simulation, which started at 200 picosecond. There was a drastic increase of RMSD at 780 picosecond. However, subsequently, albumin has relatively static. It occurred due to the damage in albumin structure and caused incomplete static of the dynamic. This is a figure about the appearance of glycated albumin at 200 picosecond, and then 600 picosecond, the last 1,200,000 picosecond undergoes a conformational change, which has an impact on secondary structure change that result in change in the albumin function. Conformational change during the simulation. Conformational change during the simulation is with change in albumin secondary structure we found from the coil into alpha helix. The transition process of secondary structure change was highlighted in yellow. This is, yeah, you know, in the yellow or yellow, yeah. And then analysis result on albumin protein potential energy during simulation show that albumin at glucose concentration has the low energy followed by 20 milligram and milliliter glucose and the 5 milligram per milliliter glucose concentration as the most positive potential energy. High blood sugar condition can cause the albumin protein to experience multiple glycation processes, which lead to the advanced glycated end product condition. Glycation process causes change in the function of albumin protein. High glucose concentration can cause albumin to undergo excessive glycation process or a condition where glucose directly affect the dynamic protein albumin. Change followed by destructive force causes a rheological dynamic. A little change in the amount of water can affect the dynamic of water or albumin. Molecular dynamic simulation reveal the phenomena of water influence on conformational dynamic of the albumin protein. Dehydration of 30 and 40% show dynamic patterns which are much different from normal condition. It proves that water has an important role in determining which directly affect the albumin protein in the blood. This study became the basis that the first step for the treatment primary prevention of any disease affecting blood rheology. the important role of water in determining the pattern of conformational change in the protein albumin can be used as a basis for water therapy in some diseases like diabetic, cancer, malaria, and so on, with the aim of lowering blood viscosity. I think this is enough. Thank you very much.